Yeah, I thought I would read this instead of cut it up and put it into Instagram and other places. So I'm just going to read this about that eye in team. Every major league team can judge a prospect's tools, and there are five in baseball: the ability to hit with power, run, catch, and throw. But how do you measure what's in an athlete's head and heart? This is from the book Mind Gym, An Athlete's Guide to Inner Excellence, Gary Mack and David Cass Stevens. This is something I was reading this morning, which prompted me to write this post. That last part is the uncharted territory of sport and a metaphor for the real sport called life. About 10 years ago, I had the unique opportunity to have football royalty on my football field right about this time of year. Jim Mora Jr., and even his father was there to watch. True football royalty came to El Segundo. Jim Jr.'s son, his name was Ryder, was on my team, and he had time before they opened camp at UCLA, so he abundantly helped us out. What a wonderful gift. That last line from the book has been my obsession in sports and actually why I coach football and why I would coach football again. The X's and O's are just math. They are the least interesting thing to me, actually. Fundamentals are my obsession because few teach them right. They just copy that bad instructions that they were taught, never asking why. Is there a better way? Who is someone who knows? And do they know for an average, maybe 6 foot player instead of their own 6'5" guy teaching 6'5" principles or a 4.2 40-yard dash principles when you're lucky to have anyone who can barely break under a 5.0 40. So I asked more if we can have a Q&A for the kids, but it was really for me. I would I could satiate my own curiosity while allowing the kids to listen to his answers. Part of what I hoped for was to de-objectify the character of TV and for the kids to get that this is not a cartoon world and there is a structure to excellence. He got maybe a couple softballs, like what it was like to coach on the team with Jerry Rice when he was with the Niners. His answer was that nobody worked harder. Even during breaks, Jerry was running or working. But why? What was in Jerry's head and heart? So I took the next question. I said that coaches always measure speed, 40s, shuttle time, etc. They measure verticals, even the size of a guy's hands. But do you guys look at what's inside a person that drives them? And is there a way to tell when the heart can make up for what's missing physically? He explained that they call those intangibles. And yes, it's difficult to measure, but they are aware of it. Back to my obsession, which is the third realm and most important and least understood piece of a team, in my humble opinion. It is where the biggest leverage for a coach is, in my humble opinion, in the heart and mind of the collective people on the team. Because someone might hit with power, but their heart is in a drug addiction. Think Darryl Strawberry of yesteryear. I once coached a kid who was born with the gift, speed and body awareness. But he also had a mental gift. The way he saw athletics was unique to most his age, and it was obvious in his walk, his posture, how he handled himself. I had a few guys who were very similar at the time, and since I would pick this young man up on the way to practice sometimes, and I would covertly model him. I'm a natural modeler, and why I suspect I was a pretty damn good athlete despite stubby legs and a long torso, but that's a subject for another day. I'm also, though, formally trained in the process of NLP modeling through Jonathan Alfeld, knowledge engineering, he calls it. It wasn't interrogative, but a fun way to describe how he thinks. This is him in like the sixth grade, if I recall. And I promise you, he thinks different than most. Even then, add in with some God-given gifts, and well, he dominated youth football. And then came high school. This kid was missing something: height. He was above average, but not the best. He grew some, and the weight rooms definitely helped. But unlike others who met the tangible standards God offers, they got offers, scholarship offers. He did not because they were taller. But how do you measure a man's heart? He got a few offers and chose what school he chose. He eventually would lead the country in kick returns and then would not get drafted into the NFL. He did eventually sign an undrafted contract. He won a Super Bowl in year two And now he has a very nice contract and is with the Oakland Raiders, with the Las Vegas Raiders. He fought to make the practice squad for 3 years. He is under a big one on his fourth. I once asked the squad that he was on back in the day, how bad do you want it? I love stories like this. It's not easy to make a pro team, let alone a college team. All your weaknesses are going to get revealed. Your teammates who love you on game day will cut you down during the practice week in the hopes of getting more time on game day. Coaches call that competition. The, the heart is why I coach. I know many stories like the above. I could write a book of many little engines that could, while other engines quit. And, people don't like the word quit in football and sports, but you got to quit when it's not your passion anymore. That's just called stupid. So, but if you commit to something, finish it out, right? You got to love the process, and eventually it ain't worth the agony versus the award. Football hurts. But that is what a Coach Tim team is about, the heart. What moves an individual, and how can you motivate and sell all the individuals to agree with that obsession, to fight for common values, for common outcomes, for selfish reasons? Some call that culture. But too many coaches academicize, I'm making these words up, such concepts, and then they bastardize it, relegating higher principles to mere cliches. These concepts are often so foreign to traditional coaching that I might get kicked out of the football club or football church for blasphemy. There is an I in team before there is team, and that I has a heart and mind. That is a coach's mandate, and it's his leverage. Hopefully, you can see this meaning in your real sport that you play, your real life, your real business. Watch my Steps Challenge video today when I tell the story of Sammy on goal setting and the Houston Oilers. Similar stuff. Thank you.